The gunshot shattered the Atlanta night as Zara Williams ran through the alley, her breath coming in gasps. She'd stolen the wrong file this time. The USB drive in her bra felt like it was burning against her skin. Behind her, she heard his voice, low and furious, speaking rapid Korean. Kang Min-seok, the beautiful, deadly ghost of Atlanta's underworld. The man she'd been investigating for 3 months. The man she'd kissed last night. The man who was now hunting her. 3 weeks ago, Zara Williams made a choice that would change everything. She walked into the Dragon's Den, an exclusive Korean lounge in Buckhead, where Atlanta's elite and underground mingled. She wore a black dress that hugged every curve. Her natural hair swept up, gold hoops catching the light. She was hunting for a story. She found something far more dangerous. Kang Min-seok sat in a private booth like a king holding court. 29 years old, devastatingly gorgeous, wearing a black suit that probably cost what she made in 3 months. Dark hair swept back, sharp jawline, lips that looked like sin. He was discussing something with men in expensive suits, his voice low and controlled. Zara felt the pull immediately. Magnetic, dangerous. Please smash that subscribe button if you are enjoying this beautiful story. This channel brings you the most explosive Afro-Korean love stories. She'd researched him obsessively. Art thief, corporate saboteur, Robin Hood to some, criminal to others. He stole from corrupt corporations, dirty politicians, anyone who'd gotten rich by hurting others. What he did with the money, no one knew. The FBI had a file on him 3 inches thick and 0 convictions. Zara's plan was simple. Get close, gain his trust, expose him. She hadn't planned on the way her body would react when his eyes found hers across the room. Min-seok dismissed his associates with a gesture, crooked his finger at Zara. The audacity should have offended her. Instead, heat pooled low in her belly as she walked toward him. Zara Williams, he said before she could introduce herself. Investigative journalist. 28. Columbia graduate. Took down 2 councilmen last year. Drives a 15-year-old Honda. Lives alone. No boyfriend. His eyes dragged down her body, slow and deliberate. Though I can't imagine why. You've done your research. I research anything that threatens my interests. Sit. Zara sat, crossing her legs slowly. Watched his eyes track the movement. I'm not a threat. You're absolutely a threat. His voice was a low rumble that did things to her pulse. The question is what I'm going to do about it. Are you threatening a journalist? I'm admiring one. He poured her whiskey without asking, his fingers brushing hers as he handed her the glass. The contact sent electricity up her arm. You're here to investigate me. I'm here to decide if I'm going to let you. You don't get to decide what I investigate. No. He leaned closer and she caught his scent. Something expensive and masculine that made her dizzy. Then why is your heart racing, Zara? Why are you looking at my mouth? She was. God, she absolutely was. I look at everyone's mouth. Body language tells stories. What story is my body telling? That he wanted to devour her. That the tension between them was thick enough to choke on. That if they'd been anywhere else, private, she might do something spectacularly stupid. That you're used to getting what you want, Zara said. Proud, her voice stayed steady. True. And right now, I want you to stop investigating me and investigate something else. Someone else. He pulled out his phone, showed her files. Charles Morrison, real estate developer. He's been laundering money for a human trafficking ring. Evidence is all here. Zara looked at the screen, torn between professional interest and personal suspicion. Why give this to me? Because Morrison is scum who hurts innocent people. I steal from thieves and predators. He's both. And because... His fingers caught her chin, tilted her face up. I want you to see I'm not the villain you think I am. You're still a criminal. So are you. His thumb brushed her lower lip. You've hacked emails, broken into offices, stolen documents. You just have a journalism degree to hide behind. That's different. He kissed her, cut off her protest with his mouth, and Zara's world tilted. His lips were firm and demanding, tasting like whiskey and danger. She should push him away, should slap him. Instead, her hands fisted in his jacket, pulling him closer. Min-seok groaned against her mouth, deepening the kiss. His hand slid into her hair, gripping just hard enough to make her gasp. He took advantage, his tongue sliding against hers in a dance that was part fight, part surrender. When he pulled back, they were both breathing hard. That was, Zara started. Inevitable, Min-seok finished. From the moment you walked in wearing that dress, looking at me like you wanted to expose me in more ways than one. I don't want. Don't lie to me, Zara. I can feel you trembling. I can see your pulse racing in your throat. You want this as much as I do, even though you know you shouldn't. He was right. Zara wanted him with an intensity that terrified her. This can't happen. I'm investigating you. Then investigate me. His lips brushed her ear, voice dropping to a whisper that sent shivers down her spine. Thoroughly. Over the next 2 weeks, they played a dangerous game. Zara investigated Morrison using Min-seok's evidence. They met 5 more times, always in shadows, always dancing around the pole between them. The second meeting, Min-seok appeared at her apartment at midnight. She opened the door in a tank top and shorts. No makeup, natural hair wild around her shoulders. How did you get past my security? She demanded. Your security is a joke. He walked past her into the apartment without permission. I came to warn you. Morrison knows you're investigating him. He's dangerous, Zara. I can handle myself. Can you? He turned, backed her against the wall. Morrison has killed people who got too close. I won't let that happen to you. You don't get to decide what risks I take. Someone has to keep you alive, since you clearly don't care about your own safety. His hands were on the wall on either side of her head, caging her in. You're reckless and brilliant and you're going to get yourself killed. Why do you care? Because I can't stop thinking about you. His forehead dropped to hers. Because you're in my head every second. Because I kissed you once and it wasn't nearly enough. Min-seok. He kissed her again, harder this time. Desperate. Zara's arms wrapped around his neck, her body pressing against his. His hands slid down to her waist, pulled her closer until there was no space between them. Tell me to stop, he murmured against her lips. Tell me this is wrong. It is wrong, Zara breathed, but her hands were pulling his jacket off, fingers working at his shirt buttons. It's completely wrong. Then why can't I stop touching you? His mouth moved to her neck, teeth grazing her pulse point. Why do you taste like everything I've ever wanted? They stumbled toward her bedroom, shedding clothes, hands desperate and searching. Min-seok's skin was hot against hers, his body lean and powerful. When he laid her on the bed, looked down at her with those dark eyes blazing with want, Zara felt beautiful and dangerous and alive. Last chance, he said, voice rough. Tell me to go and I will. Don't go. She pulled him down. Don't you dare go. They made love like enemies trying to destroy each other through pleasure. Fierce and passionate. All teeth and nails and gasped Korean and English mixing together. Min-seok whispered things in her ear in both languages. Some she understood, some she didn't, but all of them made her burn. After, lying tangled in her sheets, Min-seok traced patterns on her skin. This is dangerous. I know. I steal from powerful people. They want me dead. Being with me puts a target on your back. I expose powerful people. They want me dead too. We match. He laughed, the sound low and warm. We're going to destroy each other, Zara Williams. Probably. She turned to face him. But I can't stay away from you. Good. He kissed her slowly this time, tender instead of desperate. Because I'm not letting you go. But they both knew it was a lie. Their worlds were collision courses. One day, she'd have to choose between him and the truth. He'd have to choose between her and his empire. That day came sooner than either expected. A week later, Zara got a tip. Min-seok wasn't just stealing from the corrupt. He was blackmailing them. Millions of dollars hidden offshore. Evidence that would send him to prison for life. She tried to ignore it, tried to tell herself the source was unreliable. But she was a journalist. The truth mattered more than anything. She planned carefully, waited until Min-seok was meeting with his crew, broke into his office, found the server room, started downloading files to a USB drive. That's when the alarm went off. That's when she heard his voice over the intercom. "Zara, what are you doing?" She grabbed the USB drive and ran. Through the building, down the fire escape, into the Atlanta night. Behind her, she heard him calling her name. Not angry, hurt. "Zara, stop. Let me explain." But she couldn't stop. If she stopped, if she looked at him, she'd weaken. She'd choose him over the story. And she couldn't do that. So she ran, the evidence burning against her skin, her heart breaking with every step. And now, pressed against this alley wall, she heard his footsteps approaching, heard his voice, soft and dangerous and still somehow tender. "I know you're there, my love. Come out. We need to talk about what you've done." Zara stepped into the light. Min-seok stood 10 feet away, gun in hand but lowered. He looked at her with those dark eyes that had seen her soul, and she saw pain there that matched her own. "You stole from me," he said quietly. "After everything we shared. You betrayed me. I'm a journalist. This is what I do. Is it? Or is this you running from what we have because it scares you?" He moved closer. "Because you felt something real for once and didn't know how to handle it? Don't psychoanalyze me. You're a criminal. And you're a liar." He was right in front of her now. "You tell yourself you're doing this for justice, for truth. But really you're just afraid. Afraid of loving someone who sees every dark part of you and wants you anyway. This isn't about us." He kissed her, hard and angry and desperate. Zara tried to resist, tried to hold onto her righteous fury. But her body betrayed her, responding to him like it always did. The USB drive fell from her fingers as her arms wrapped around his neck. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Min-seok picked up the drive. "The files you stole," he said, voice rough. "They're fake. Planted. I knew you'd come for them eventually. Wanted to see if you'd choose me or the story." Zara's stomach dropped. "What? The real files are somewhere you'll never find them. This?" He held up the USB. "This is nothing. A test you failed. You manipulated me. I protected myself. From the woman I'm falling in love with, who I knew would eventually try to destroy me." Pain flickered in his eyes. "I just hoped I was wrong." Before Zara could respond, gunshots erupted around them. Morrison's men, closing in. Min-seok shoved her behind him, returning fire, his body shielding hers. "We're not done," he growled over the gunfire. "But first, I'm getting you out of here alive. Then we're going to settle this. All of it." Zara's hand found his. "I'm sorry." "So am I." He pulled her close for one more desperate kiss. "But we'll finish this conversation later. Run." Min-seok pulled Zara through the chaos, his hand gripping hers as bullets ricocheted off brick walls. They ran through back alleys, over fences, finally ducking into an abandoned warehouse. Min-seok slammed the door shut, wedged a metal bar through the handle. They were both breathing hard. Zara's heart hammered from adrenaline and proximity. Even now, running for their lives, she was achingly aware of him. The way his shirt clung to his body, sweat making it transparent in places. The intensity in his dark eyes as they scanned the warehouse for threats. "We're trapped," Zara said, looking around. "No other exits visible." "No. I know this building. There's a way out." Min-seok pulled out his phone, texted rapidly in Korean. "My men will be here in 10 minutes. We just need to stay alive until then. Morrison's men are right behind us." "I know." He checked his gun. 2 bullets left. "Which means we need to talk fast. About what you took. About what this is between us." "Min-seok, this isn't the time." "It's exactly the time. Because one of us might die in the next 10 minutes. And I'll be damned if I die with things unfinished between us." He moved closer, backing her against a concrete pillar. You want the truth? I'll give you the truth. Everything you want to know. Why? So I'll sleep with you again. His jaw clenched. Because despite everything, despite knowing you'll probably use it to destroy me, I can't lie to you anymore. You deserve the truth, Zara. Outside, they heard Morrison's men searching, getting closer. Time was running out. The blackmail, Min-seok said quietly. It's real. I've been collecting evidence on corrupt people for 3 years. Senators, judges, CEOs. People who've stolen, killed, destroyed lives and never faced consequences. And you've been blackmailing them for money.
No.
I've been holding the evidence as insurance, as leverage to make them stop hurting people. He ran a hand through his hair. The money I take from them, it goes to victims, families they've destroyed, people the system failed. I don't believe you. I don't care if you believe me. It's the truth. He pulled out his phone again, showed her account transfers. Millions of dollars, all going to names she recognized. Families of people killed by corporate negligence. Victims of predatory lending. People destroyed by the powerful. This is what I do, Zara. I rob from those who rob others. And I give it back. Zara stared at the screen, her mind reeling. Why not just expose them? Give the evidence to authorities. Because the authorities are compromised. Half the judges on my list are corrupt. The evidence would disappear. The powerful would walk free like they always do. His voice was bitter. I learned that lesson when I was 19. My father's business partner stole everything. We had evidence. The courts did nothing because the partner had connections. My father died broken and broke. I swore I'd never be powerless again. So you became a criminal. I became someone who could actually deliver justice when the system failed. He cupped her face, forcing her to look at him. I'm not a good man, Zara. I've done terrible things. Hurt people who probably deserved it but maybe didn't. I'm exactly what you thought I was. But I'm also trying to do something good with the power I've built. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm tired of hiding from you. Because you're the first person in 10 years who's seen me, really seen me, and didn't run screaming. Because he stopped, jaw working. Because what? Because I love you, he said, the words seeming to tear out of him. I fell in love with you the first night when you looked at me like I was a puzzle you wanted to solve. When you kissed me back even though you knew you shouldn't. When you challenged every lie I told myself about who I am. Zara's breath caught. Min-seok, I know you can't love me back. I know what I am, what I've done. But I needed you to know. Before one of us dies. Before you walk away forever. I needed you to know someone loved you enough to give you the weapon to destroy them. The warehouse door exploded inward. Morrison's men poured in, 6 of them, all armed. Min-seok shoved Zara behind him, raised his gun. Stay down, he commanded. The firefight was brief and brutal. Min-seok took down 3 men with his 2 bullets and his fists. He moved like violence incarnate, every movement precise and deadly. Zara grabbed a fallen gun, shot one man who was aiming at Min-seok's back. Her hand shook but her aim was true. When the smoke cleared, 4 men were down. 2 had fled. Min-seok was bleeding from his shoulder, but alive. He looked at Zara with something like wonder. You saved my life. Don't get used to it. But her hands were shaking as she moved to him, examining his wound. You're hit. Flesh wound. I've had worse. He caught her hands, stilled them. Why did you shoot him? You could have let him kill me. Solved all your problems. Because the words stuck in her throat. Because you're right. About everything. About me being scared. About me running from something real. About us. Zara. I love you too. The admission felt like jumping off a cliff. I've been fighting it for weeks. Telling myself it was just attraction, just adrenaline. But it's not. You're in my head. In my heart. And I don't know what to do about it because loving you means betraying everything I believe in. Or maybe, Min-seok said softly, pulling her close despite the blood, despite the chaos. Loving me means accepting that justice isn't always black and white. That sometimes the people who break the rules are trying to fix a broken system. I can't just ignore what you do. I can't pretend you're not a criminal. I'm not asking you to. I'm asking you to see all of me, the darkness and the light, the crimes and the reasons, and then decide if that's something you can live with. His forehead touched hers. I'll understand if you can't. I'll let you go. I'll disappear from your life. But Zara, if there's any chance you can accept who I am, I want to take it. Outside, they heard sirens. Min-seok's men, arriving with vehicles. They had minutes to make a choice that would define everything that came after. If I choose you, Zara said slowly, I can't write about you, can't expose you. That goes against everything I am as a journalist. I know, but I also can't ignore corruption. Can't stop investigating powerful people who hurt others. I wouldn't want you to. In fact, Min-seok pulled back, looked at her seriously. What if we work together? You investigate, I provide evidence I've collected. You write the stories that expose them. I handle the justice the courts won't deliver. Partners. That's insane. That's us. He smiled, and despite everything, Zara felt her heart flip. We've been dancing around this for weeks. You wanted to expose corruption. I want to punish it. Together, we could actually make a difference. A real difference. You're asking me to become complicit in your crimes. I'm asking you to help me do something good with the power I've built. Use me, Zara. Use my resources, my evidence, my connections. Write stories that actually change things. And in return, he kissed her softly. Let me love you. Let me keep you safe while you tear down the powerful. Let us be dangerous together instead of destroying each other. It was crazy. Impossible. Everything she'd sworn she'd never do. But looking at Min-seok, at this complicated, criminal, passionate man who just offered her everything including his own destruction, Zara realized something. Justice wasn't always served in courtrooms. Truth wasn't always found in legal documents. Sometimes the people fighting the hardest for what was right were the ones operating in shadows. If we do this, she said, I have conditions. No killing unless it's absolute self-defense. No stealing from anyone who isn't corrupt. And full transparency between us. No more lies, no more tests. Agreed. And you teach me everything. How to fight, how to move in shadows, how to survive in your world. I won't be just your girlfriend who needs protecting. I'll be your partner in every way. Min-seok's eyes blazed. Is that what you are? My girlfriend? I don't know. What do you call the woman you love, who's also your accomplice in vigilante justice? In Korean, we call it 내 사랑. My love. He kissed her deeply, pouring everything into it. And in every language, we call it forever. His men burst through the door. Min-seok barked orders in Korean, and they scattered to secure the area. He turned back to Zara, held out his hand. Last chance. Come with me, and your life changes forever. You become part of my world. Dangerous, complicated, probably going to get you killed eventually. Zara looked at his hand, thought about her apartment, her blog, her simple life investigating from a distance. Thought about safety and ethics and the clear lines between right and wrong she'd always believed in. Then she thought about Min-seok's eyes when he said he loved her. Thought about the files showing money going to victims. Thought about how alive she felt when they were together, fighting side by side. She took his hand. Let's go be dangerous together. They ran into the Atlanta night, sirens wailing, Morrison's remaining men somewhere behind them. But Zara wasn't afraid. She had Min-seok beside her, had a purpose that went beyond just writing stories. She had love and danger and the promise of making a real difference, even if it meant breaking every rule she'd ever followed. 6 months later, Zara's blog had exposed 4 major corruption scandals. Each story was backed by evidence that seemed to come from nowhere. Each guilty party faced consequences, either legal or otherwise. Atlanta's underworld whispered about the journalist who had the ghost backing her. The FBI had no idea the ghost and the journalist shared a bed. In Min-seok's penthouse, Zara worked on her latest story while he planned his next operation. They moved around each other with practiced ease, partners in crime and justice and love. Morrison's trial starts next week, Min-seok said, pulling her away from her laptop and into his lap. Your testimony will bury him. Good. He deserves it. Zara wrapped her arms around his neck. Thank you for the evidence. Thank you for being brave enough to testify. He kissed her neck. And for choosing me over your principles. I didn't choose you over my principles. I chose a different way of fighting for them. She turned to face him. With you. With me, he agreed. Forever if you'll have me. He pulled out a ring. Simple, beautiful, exactly her style. Marry me, Zara Williams. Be my partner in everything. Help me make this city better while we break every rule together. Say yes. Zara looked at the ring. At this man who'd turned her world upside down. Who'd shown her that justice wasn't always found in courtrooms and truth wasn't always black and white. Yes, she said. 1,000 times yes. He slipped the ring on her finger and kissed her until she forgot everything but the feel of him. The taste of him. The absolute certainty that she'd made the right choice. Outside, Atlanta glittered in the darkness. And inside, two people who'd found love in the most impossible circumstances planned their next move in the endless fight against corruption. Drop that like if you made it to the end of this wild ride. Comment below and tell me if you think Zara made the right choice, and whether love can really conquer the line between right and wrong. Subscribe because we've got more intense Afro-Korean stories coming where passion meets danger and nothing is ever simple. Remember, sometimes the best partnerships are forged in fire, and the truest love sees all your darkness and chooses you anyway. They were dangerous together. They were unstoppable together. And they were exactly where they were meant to be. Together.